Hi, everyone. Welcome to eLearnChat, where talk, it's knowledge. And today we're going to take our talk internationally a little bit. So here we go. And we are back. I'm joined today by Harold Muliati. He is he's actually a fine artist. He's our a producer here on the show, and he does a lot of work in graphic arts and development. Harold, do you want to introduce our guests today?
Yeah, our guests today are from iSpring Solutions. We have up in the upper left there is Max Ionin, and up on the upper right is Stephan Burley.
Hi, everybody.
And hi, Aaron.
And hi, I'm so glad you guys could join us. And I know it's late your time, so we appreciate that. And for those who don't know, they are coming from Yoshkar-Ola, Russia. That's where they're located. That's their headquarters. And then they have U.S. headquarters, too, in, I believe it's in Virginia. But anyway, well, congratulations on the new suite that just came out, iSpring 9.
Thank you. Thanks, Rick.
We've been working with it, and Harold, in fact, he finished one blog on it, and he's doing a second blog right now, and he'll probably be doing something else. And we actually went to your webinar this morning on some of the new features with the drag and drops and other things, and you guys put a lot of effort into this one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How long did this one, you've been working on this for probably a year right now, right?
Yeah, we think so, yeah, about so. More or less.
That's good. Now, Max, your job is that of kind of community success manager, right? Or customer success manager?
I would say customer success manager. So I'm not that much about what button you should click, but I'm more about how we can make your business go easier with iSpring solutions.
So what exactly does a customer success manager do? What's your responsibility?
I think quickest explanation will be comparing to sales manager. And so I help people launch the projects. So it's not only Suite, it's also Learn, which is our learning management solution. Mm-hmm. And together we quickly implement eLearning in different organizations and companies.
That's great. Now Learn, speaking of Learn, that used to be called, I think, Rocket, right?
Oh, yeah.
It changed
it was quite a while ago, though.
I heard, I was talking with Yuri, the president of iSpring, and he was telling me that a lot of work went into completely redoing Learn. The performance is a lot faster right now. We've been playing with it. And so brand new architecture?
That's true. And so we actually put a lot of concentration on the Learn LMS, because you can have a great authoring solution, but if you don't have LMS, it's pretty useless. It doesn't give you that much tracking and reporting, which are essential for any distant education processes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So tell us a little bit about iSpring Suite 9. What's different in this particular version?
It is pretty much same as Suite 8. However, we revamped some of the processes. So for those who don't know what is the Suite, it is still the eLearning courses creation software. It works as a PowerPoint add-in, and you just see it as one of the tabs on your main PowerPoint ribbon. You take your PowerPoint presentations as the basis, and then you supercharge them with quizzes, dialogue simulations, screencasts. So there are ways to make your content more interactive, and at the same time to assess the knowledge of your learners. In version 9, we did a lot of improvements to quizzes. There is absolutely brand new screencasts option, and so our visuals model, which was called interactions, was renovated as well. Right now, there are so much more things you can create with that, and I'm sure Stephan will be talking about it in more details. So basically, we just do the updates, make it even easier for people, and while our direction is still the same, I think it's a huge breakthrough if we compare it to version 8.
It looks, and version 8 was very clean. I agree. Version 9 looks a lot cleaner. It looks looks nicer, and we were playing with the screencast function. I think that's what you did the blog on, right, Harold?
Well, yeah, I did the blog on Cam Pro, the video editing and screen recorder and video recorder.
Yeah, that on that, even on the Cam Pro, it's quite a difference. It runs beautifully. We had some very good. Well, you actually could attest that you worked with it. It was pretty easy to use. He just jumped right into it and started creating videos.
Yeah, it's really easy, and it's got a good amount of functionality to it. So there's quite, I think I just kind of touched the tip of the iceberg just testing it out, but there's a lot that could be done with it.
Thank you.
Now, Stephan, on some of the things that you do, you're one of the senior technical support people, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wrote partly the documentation and also the scripts for some video tutorials. And I also did some testing for the software. Yeah. So I know pretty much about it and all the new features, and I'm really excited to tell you about all of them.
So what's one of your favorite new features?
I think drag and drop questions in quizzes.
Yeah.
It's pretty smooth. It's really, really beautiful, I think, and it's really useful because we want to entertain our students, right? And this type of question is a really good way to entertain a bit the students. Yeah.
Well, one of our people was watching the webinar you were doing about an hour ago, and she was watching the drag and drop, ran off to her office and started going, "This is cool! This is great! Look!" So she was very pleased. She actually seemed pretty happy about it, and that person was Leslie, who happens to be my wife, and it was just sort of funny because she immediately was playing. This is working perfectly. Oh, wow. There's some nice features in the drag and drop. It worked really well, very clean. So that is good. And drag and drops can be a lot of fun. And
not only for the students, it is really fun to create them yourself. And it's really up to your imagination how you design it, how you can make it work for you. I mean, it's really nice. Yeah.
Now it's funny. One of the features people don't talk about much, and I'm not sure what it's called now. The one where a presenter can give a presentation, is that the screencast? Where they can give a presentation and time it to all the things happening on the screen. You could show the presenter. You can also show the PowerPoint, and it goes back and forth. I forgot what it's called in the new version. I think that it has a new name. Harold, do you know what that one is?
I actually haven't used it so far in the new version.
I've used that one before, but I can't.
Yeah, it's that feature where you have the...
It's like video presenter, something like that?
Yeah, it's called like that. Yeah, video presenter.
It is still for video presenter. I thought it changed name, but that's a feature people don't talk about that much because I don't think they know it's there. It's interesting. It's a great feature for quickly putting out a video, some training you could put out on the internet, and it works really well.
Yeah, it's really good feature because you can switch between your slides and the video of the presenter, and it's really good. So first, the students, they know who is talking, and it's really nice, and it's pretty useful, I think. I actually, as a tech support engineer, I don't see very often that the users use it, but some of them do use it, and when they do, it's for our clients to use it more.
Yeah, it's fun. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a very easy way to get content
We should tell them about the podcast feature as well, because when you use Video Presenter, you can not only have the presentation slide and then the small video in the top corner, it's possible to make them work alone. So you will have like 50 the video, 50 the presentation slide on the screen. And so it is a question of a couple of clicks to make it work with iSpring.
Interesting. That's good.
And yeah, I think it can make for presentations that are, well, I mean, when someone's narrating a presentation and you're only seeing the slides because there's nothing moving most of the time. A lot of times, people get kind of, but if you can see someone talking, even if it's just part of the screen, I think that helps. And yeah, this feature makes it really easy to do.
Yeah, what I like about it too is that you're not always stuck in the little window in the corner. You can actually get out and become part of the whole presentation, it just makes it more realistic, a little nicer. So how are people responding? It's only been out, about 2 weeks? This is the second week, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are people responding?
Really great, actually. Max, perhaps you can tell us about this?
I think that there have been much more both sales and tech support activity up to the release. A lot of people were asking how they can get version 9 installed. And so with our current sales policy, you can have free upgrades if your license is all set with the maintenance plan. So we've been helping those who are eligible for free upgrade get one. And we were helping those who need to upgrade their license get one as well. So I think the reaction was even higher than when we released version 8 and people were switching from version 7.
That's good. That is actually good. And it came out, actually it did come out pretty quickly because I think it's only been about a year maybe since version 8, if even. Like I said, we saw a substantial amount of changes. And also, it's never been a buggy product. So we just noticed that it just seems even cleaner. So that means even less bugs, which is good because there aren't that many bugs. We don't run into bugs very often on iSpring. With a lot of the other authoring tools that we use, we wind up having to figure out how to work around the problems.
Everything's workarounds.
And with iSpring, no, it just works. And from a developer point of view, that's something that we appreciate enormously because you don't have to spend your developers' time trying to figure out, no, how do I do this now? This isn't good. It just works. And that's always something that we've appreciated. I know I've talked, Yuri has been on the show. Yuri Yuskov is the president of iSpring, and he's been on the show about 3 times. And it's a good engineering group. You guys have a real good support and engineering group to just put these things out, and always impressed with what you guys come out with. So that's been pretty good. What do you think, Max? What do you think right now? Some of the trends in e-learning are things that you're seeing, and how is iSpring supporting or planning on supporting some of these new trends?
That's a great question. Our development team is always open for suggestions. So we are not only watching the trends, but we also talk a lot with our clients. As a quick example for Learn LMS, that's how we had gamification implemented. It all started with one of the feature requests from the client. Then we were digging more into the trends, how that appeared, and how helpful that will be for our clients. And it's developed. So I think we will be picking up a lot of new features, a lot of new functionalities, which are so discussed these days. But I know for sure that we will not exchange the ease of use. So one of our main priorities is providing stable, not buggy products with very intuitive interface will be still supported no matter what functionality we implement. But I know that there are a lot of things going in the market right now. You get a lot of small mobile learning solutions which help people run quick content and deliver it by pushing it into the mobile devices of their employees. And you can do that with iSpring. And so I think the best way to see what's going on is just to wait a little. We already have a lot of plans for 9.1, 9.3. And as you know, we do not bring new functionalities only with the major releases.
Right.
So you don't have to wait till version 10.
No, that's true. You guys are always doing small updates and sometimes pretty big ones. So of the things that you're seeing in the market right now, what do you think, aside from gamification, do you see any other trends that you feel are important, or just changes in the way we refer to things. Like for example, if you really look at gamification, gamification is just really what was called interactivity in the old days, and that's not a game. People think it's gaming. No, not really. It's elements of game design. What other things? There's a lot of talk in the market now about learner-centric learning, in other words, or learner-focused learning, where we don't give them everything. They have to figure it out a little bit more. What other things are, or if you can tell us that, what are some of the things that iSpring is looking at doing that may be interesting to customers in the future?
I think, well, so I'm not sure if it is trend, but the world is finally getting rid of the Flash.
Yes.
And yeah, going fully HTML5, and it's good. It's really good because HTML5 works on mobile devices. And yeah, I think mobile learning is a huge trend. Yeah, I think it is a trend. And also another thing is that courses are getting shorter and shorter in time. I mean, it's not like a 40 minutes courses anymore, but they're like, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes courses. And it's really good because we all know that the human brain, it can take information for like 40 minutes. And it's good that it can be divided. The courses can be divided in really small parts and bits. So that the learners can easily take the knowledge out of there, and they're not overwhelmed by these huge courses. And with mobile learning, it's really easy to do. So you don't need to go to your computer and like turn it on and go to the website and view your courses from there when you have your mobile device. And like a lot of learning management systems, they have their applications, and you gotta just launch the application and launch the course and spend these 5 minutes to quickly learn something. So it's really good. And I think iSpring, actually we got rid of Flash as well in version 9. So it's fully HTML5. And another thing that we try to do, I'm pretty sure that you know that both Google and Apple, they release new updates of their operating systems. I mean, Android and iOS pretty often. And sometimes they do some really huge changes in the way the browsers work. I mean, Safari on iOS and Chrome on Android devices. And we really doing our best to always make sure to test our software in beta versions of these operating systems and make sure that our course is gonna work just fine on these versions of operating systems, mobile devices that are going to release really soon.
Well, Stephan, one thing we noticed right away when we got the new version, it was totally HTML5, and we noticed that right away and went, wow, this is interesting, because not only is it all HTML5, it works. And that was one of, because we know other vendors, we work with other tools, and they have a combination of HTML5 and Flash, and it's a mess in some of them. Things work here, they don't work there. So by having just the HTML5 and having it work was really impressive. Now, out of curiosity, this is something that we deal with, and I think all developers deal with. A lot of corporations, especially in the United States, don't move quickly from browser. They're on Internet Explorer, not a very good browser, but we're all stuck with it. And I think from Internet Explorer 9 on, it supported HTML5. Do you also target the Internet Explorer as well as the support for that for corporate clients?
Yeah. So in any case, there. I think Adobe stops the support for Flash in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's going to be like in 2 years, even less than 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, they will be forced to move to HTML5. But yeah, so because Internet Explorer 9, already Internet Explorer 9 supports HTML5, so they're good with our output files.
Yep,
So
that's great.
we haven't had any complaints yet, so I think it's a good sign, right?
Yeah, it is a good sign, and we noticed right away everything was working very cleanly on the HTML5. It's just one of those things that when we started looking at the code, or not the code, but the output, we went, oh, this is working nicely, and it works fast, because sometimes HTML5, depending how it's coded, can be slow if the libraries aren't correct, and so no, that part's working really well. We were pretty happy with that. And
it's all about our crazy developers. I mean, if our developer will get a task to quickly fix something and find that the code can be optimized, I think he will be doing his best to optimize the code and make sure everything runs even faster. So it's about the approach to work, and we are very thankful for that.
Yeah, well, Russian developers have always been very good too. That helps. And one thing, Max, that we've noticed is that on the HTML5, not only is it clean because it worked really well, browsers are not easy to work with because they change all the time. We've seen this in other tools, and we're always working with compatibility with our clients, and it drives you crazy. That's why you're right. The developers are good because it's a lot of work to get it to work just perfectly, and the browser companies don't help. They really don't. So
Yeah, everything ends up supported kind of piecemeal by the different browsers. Like you'll have something that's supported on 3 but not on one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, it's good. We also noticed that transitions have gotten better. For example, I was looking at the video editor part of it. Is it Cam Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam Pro. The transitions and everything are extremely clean. This is before it's even generated the video. It's very, very clean in the way it looks and presents and everything else. So, no, from our point of view as developers, we're immediately happy with what we saw last week when we downloaded it and put it on our systems, that it just worked. And it worked very cleanly. And it also, I think you made a point earlier that you made changes, try to make it easier. I think it is easier. I think it's a little more intuitive on this version than it was in 8 and 7. And they were both pretty intuitive. So it's not getting worse. It's getting better with the releases. So we appreciate that. It's always good to see good engineering at work. That's always a pleasure. And so, Stephan, what that means for you is you're bored. You don't have a lot of phone calls, right?
No. I mean, people call constantly actually and asking how do I use this feature. I mean, maybe they just like to talk. I think that's the main thing. Maybe they don't want to watch tutorials, and they don't want to read documentation. They just like to talk and some personal contact, and it's a good thing. I mean, I've heard from a lot of our clients that they really like to talk to us, to the support team, and yeah, I think that's why they're calling.
Well, you guys have a very nice support team. We've called in the past. We've worked with some of the different people there, and you guys are helpful. We've worked with a lot of different support teams. Some companies don't even have support teams. Others have support teams that always tell you it's your problem. It's like, it's not our problem.
Yeah, I feel that.
So you folks have been very, very good when it comes to help and work and everything else. So we appreciate that. And that's, as developers, it's always nice to have somebody that you can talk to and who is helpful. So I think you guys have always had a very good support team. So that's actually a very nice feature. In fact, let's go to Max's shot right now for a moment. So Max, we've got you on the screen right now. I think Polina is next to you.
Oh yeah, she's.
Polina, lean into the screen real quickly.
Hey Polina, come on in.
Come on in. Polina is now the community manager.
Fixing her hair.
For fixing her hair. Polina, how are you? She's going to kill me later.
Oh, I'm sorry, she can't hear you, but...
Well, tell Polina that we're just telling people Polina is the community manager for iSpring. We've known Polina for about 7-8 years already, and she's wonderful to work with, and she happens to be Max's wife. So, or Max is her husband. I'm not sure who owns who here, but. But Polina is really wonderful to work with too, and you'll see her at many of the trade shows. She's always talking with people.
Can you hear us?
And
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Can you still hear us?
Can you hear us?
It was impossible to make it work from the laptop
Oh, okay.
voice system. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No, we were just telling people who Polina was and how she's the community manager. And if you have a chance to meet her at one of the trade shows, she's usually at the trade show. She does a great job. She either runs the trade show or she's just very easy to work with. And she'll probably kill me later for dragging her onto the screen when
Oh, no.
she wasn't expecting it. But
Don't
Polina,
worry
thanks.
about that.
I guess she can go back off screen if she wants. Tell her thank you for coming on. But anyway, no, this is fun. Any other things you want to talk about the new release or things you guys are thinking about doing?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if I can share my screen. I think I can.
I think you can.
Give me just a second then. Can you hear? Can you
Yeah, we can
see
see
it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna give you like a quick overview of what you're gonna have in iSpring 9, like the new features of iSpring 9. So we have really big improvements in QuizMaker, the quiz making tool, and also in iSpring visuals, where you can create some interactions. And finally, with the Cam, so the Cam Pro that you guys talked so much about this webinar, right? But anyway, so here just you can see like the main screen of QuizMaker, and now it's enhanced with a new drag and drop question. Here it is, and it is this template can help you to train skills in some realistic situations. We also completely revamped the interface and simplified the design of questions and intro slides to create a better workflow. And yeah, so here you can see a short video of some drag and drop question example. So yeah, basically you just put the bottles from the cart to this little thing. So yeah, drag and drop exercises, they engage learners and help them master complex topics, as well as practice some professional skills. So students get actively involved in training, and they can drag images, shapes, and text fields and practice the right actions in game-like environment. So yeah, here's just some other examples of drag and drop questions. So yeah, moving these documents to this box. And here's another example, like parts of this tool. Also, some other features, we added extended feedback. So you can help the learners to review their mistakes and remember a complex topic and improve results in the future. You can explain in detail why this or that answer was incorrect and provide learners with topic-related facts, or even a whole article. So it's a really big field for feedbacks. Then there are also hotspot questions that we have. And in the hotspot questions, you can now mark correct and incorrect areas. So you will know exactly how the students respond, and will be able to improve knowledge on all sorts of complex topics, like advanced equipment and mechanisms. So yeah. Then there's also tests with equations. So in version 8, we used to use equation editor that came from Microsoft. And right now in version 9, we developed our own equation editor. So it is really good for creating these kinds of questions with formulas and equations. Extra variants for matching questions that you can use. so the distractors that you can use for matching questions. Then there's also Likert templates to collect feedback. So your quizzes, they don't have to be graded quizzes. They can also be surveys, or you can include survey questions into your graded quizzes, for example, for collecting feedback. And these Likert scale templates can help you with that. Then there's also pre-test instructions that you can use. You can add instructions at the beginning of the test, so the users get familiar with what they're gonna expect from this quiz, and how many questions they're gonna have, for example, and how many points they can score, and And even if there is a time limit to finish a test, the countdown will start only after the intersection, and the students won't spend their precious time reading the instructions. Then inspiring workspaces. So as I said, we completely redesigned the whole interface of our quiz maker. We also got rid of Flash in here. So our interface used to be Flash based. Right now it's different. So it's gonna look even perfect on 4K monitors with like really big resolution. So it's one of the main features of it. And so the workspace is now organized in such a way that the most important features are right at your fingertips, and test questions in the central part of the window here, and the settings and slide preview are in the toolbar on the right, so here. Then test design freedom. You can explore various question layouts and polish info slides, feedback, questionnaires, and result slides. Now, all of these are in the visual editor. There is no need to constantly switch between different modes. Just select a layer and start creating. And here are some examples how you design your questions. It's really good. Then I'm going to tell you a little about the CAM, iSpring CAM Pro. So it will help you to educate your learners with video courses or software tutorials or video lectures. You can mix and edit videos like a pro, even if you've never done it before. So first, I'm going to tell you about the picture-in-picture effect for your screencasts. You can record 2 videos at the same time, the screencast and a webcam video. You can show both streams together or easily switch between them. For example, help new hires to master an intricate app by adding your video comments to a screencast-based tutorial. Then some software tutorials with visual hints. When you record a screencast, iSpring automatically detects when you click, type, use hotkeys, add visual cues for these actions to the video, and it adds visual cues for these actions to the video. And for you can show your learners how to use hotkeys, explain what each button is for, and teach how to use the app step by step. So you see here these little annotations, they're gonna come in your video automatically, all of them. So you don't even have to edit them. Well, I mean, you can edit them afterwards, but it all gonna show up automatically. So it's another highlight of the CAM Pro. And then with iSpring Video Studio, you can bring together videos, voiceovers, and photos and merge them into a professional video course. For example, you can record a video with an expert and support it with text and graphics. Plus, you can pepper your video with helpful insights to highlight the key points and boost retention, like you can see here. And also, there is interactive canvas here. You can add videos, images, text blocks, shapes, edit them on a canvas just like in PowerPoint. You can move and resize all the objects to find a layout that fits best for your project. For example, expand a video to full screen and focus the learner's attention on a charismatic instructor. Or you can hide a talking head video to show key findings on a topic. So it's all possible in this editor that is going to come up after you record. And then this multi-track timeline for audio and video. There is an unlimited number of tracks that you can add, so there are as many layers as you need. With iSpring Suite, you can merge videos from multiple tracks and add audio and even show 2 videos at the same time. Don't worry if you cough or misspeak while recording. You can cut out unwanted fragments or merge a video from several clips. Then there's title screen and annotations. You can grab attention right from the first scene, start a video course with a bright and compelling intro, and then add infographics at any point of your video. Also, you can use images or create annotations yourself, also some graphs and captions right in the video editor. And finally, transitions. We borrowed some transitions from PowerPoint that you can employ here. So smooth out the transitions between videos, info slides, and photos. So you can adjust transitions effects to make the images ripple into videos and videos smoothly flow back into images. And finally, the visuals, iSpring visuals. So in these element of iSpring Suite, we had only 4 interactions in version 8, but right now we have 14 of them. And right now on the screen, I'm going to show you just some examples. Well, all 14 of them actually, but how you can actually use them. So, and actually, the good thing about the visuals is that you can work with them really easy. It's really easy to work with them. So you just choose a suitable template and fill it with your text and images. And you can also set customizable design to match your corporate style if you have some corporate training. So first interaction is tabs. So with this interaction, you can present well-structured content in a compelling way. For example, in a management course, you can explain how to set SMART goals. So here, SMART. Or describe how a SWOT analysis is conducted. Then there is FAQ interaction. So, for example, you can use it to help your employees in onboarding programs. So when they have a lot of questions on, for example, corporate software or duties of team members or payroll. So with this interaction, you can create an engaging FAQ that will help newbies get answers fast without distracting employees from their tasks. Then there is glossary. You can quickly create a glossary of terms, a directory or a catalog with easy navigation. For example, you can compile a catalog of insurance products to quickly introduce newbies to the topic. Or as you can see on this example, if your company is launching an e-learning department, you can create an e-learning glossary so that all employees can speak the same language. Then there is accordion, another interaction. With this interaction, you can show a call handling procedure or even organize an online office tour for interns so that they can explore your office and their future workspace. You can see this example here. And then there is timeline. This module will show an employee the key events of your company's history and explain to them how your values were formed. Or in a product training course, a timeline will help you present the product development stages to track changes from one version to another. Then steps. This interaction will help you train your employees to act automatically in problem situations. For example, you can use steps to provide your tech support with a step-by-step guide on how to deal with an angry client, or describe the procedure for dealing with a fire in a general safety course. Then there is cyclic process. This interaction will be of help if you create courses on industrial processes and safety. For instance, you can show how part cutting or raw material processing is performed. Or with this template, you can show any repetitive process, for example, the Deming cycle, which is a cyclic decision-making process that is used in quality management, as you can see here on your screens right now. Then there is circle diagram, another interaction. You can use it for help you visualize your brand values or show how your target audience is segmented. Then labeled graphic. In this interaction, you can make it much easier to describe what a complex device or mechanism consists of, or show product features, or teach employees to work with a new software interface. Then there is a guided image, and you can draw your learner's attention to details when explaining how equipment works, or when describing a complex diagram. Or one more use case for this template is in a course for salespeople who need to visually present a product to customers, as you can see here with a car. And then Hotspot interaction. With this template, you can present a layout of products or components. And if your company sells products online, Hotspot is a great way to show, for example, regions with various shipping options so that managers can answer questions faster. Or in medical courses, this interaction will help learners to master the structure of human organs and systems. Or as you can see on this screen, in this example, it is a course on a healthy nutrition basics course. Let's call it this way. And finally, the last interaction that we have is media catalog. And with this interaction, you can create a catalog to help employees quickly navigate through the products offered by the company. And it's a great template for product training in the spheres where products can be easily shown visually. For example, if you sell clothes or furniture, devices, or food. So these were interactions, and I personally think it's a really good way to somehow make your learners really engage with the content. So they just don't simply click next, 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 but they can really be engaged in the content, and they really have to think what they need to click and what they need to do here to explore. So it's a really good way to make them think. And yeah, as I said, these were just the highlights of iSpring Suite 9, features that we are proud of the most. There are also dozens of small improvements and new features to make sure your content works perfect even in the most recent updates of browsers on computers and mobile devices. So yeah, that's pretty much it, what I was going to tell you about the new features.
Stephan, that was great. Now, you do realize that from 4 to 14, that means we expect 28 minimum in the next version.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
No, that's really nice. Those are good interactions, and they're pretty flexible. It looks like you could do quite a bit with them.
Absolutely. You can think of so many use cases for all these interactions. There are like a lot of them. You just have to think and use your imagination, I guess. Actually, on our website, ispringsolutions.com, you can see some examples, some demos of content created using iSpring visuals as a part of iSpring Suite. So just so you can use them as an inspiration source for your courses. So yeah, you're very welcome to go to our website to watch some of them. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Why don't you come on back?
Sorry?
Why don't you come on back to your webcam?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
there you
give
are.
me just a second.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was
great.
very good. A lot of nice new features and a lot of stuff, like you said, to be creative with and have some fun developing. And that's part of the thing. If you have a tool that you're having fun with, you're not struggling with the tool, it becomes a lot more productive. So that's all I can say. We've been through enough difficult tools. But no, that was very well done. And we are pretty much at the end of our show. We've gone a little bit over, but that's okay. Any final comments, Max?
I just wanted to say how much I appreciate your invitation. And so it's been a lot of fun to participate here. And so I want to say thank you to everybody who took a part in developing version 9, because my life as a life of customer success manager has been changing already. It's getting easier and easier to work with the client's needs. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. And we appreciate you coming on, and thank both of you for coming on and sharing some of what you're doing. And Paulina, who's hiding in the background, but she's always been appreciated. She knows that.
I will say hi.
Yep, she knows we appreciate her. We actually tell people she's our adopted daughter from Russia. So, but anyway, we love having you guys on. It's been too long. It's been, I think, a long time since you've been on. So I'm glad that we were able to get iSpring back on and have people find out what you guys are doing. Are you folks going to be on any trade shows before DevLearn? I know you're going to DevLearn. Any other shows that you'll be at?
We don't have a fixed list yet, but this year we had some plans to hit more trade shows than we typically do. So you can always see us at DevLearn and at AliceCon, but I hope that we will be participating in more and more shows.
Great. That'll be fun. Well, anyway, again, thank you both for coming on, and we appreciate it as always. If people want to get a hold of you, Max, for example, should they contact you via email, via the web?
They're more than welcome to do that.
Okay, so you can go to www.ispringsolutions.com, and then you can get a hold of people, as well as I think you have a free trial that people can download, and lots of tutorials, lots of information, and also a very good community board. So definitely take a look at the website, and if you do buy the product, enjoy it. You're going to love it. It's a great product. We've been using it for years, and it actually works really well. So again, thank you both for coming on. We wish you guys to have a great rest of the week and a weekend coming up. And we will see you next time. And if you're watching the show, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up or down, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Actually, we have another show in about 2-3 hours with Lisa Goldstein today. You'll get to see her. She hasn't been on in a while either. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for showing, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye.